are going to make some space. Let's come a little bit this way so that we don't block. Finding your own space, standing, starts by firmly planting your feet into the ground. Take a deep inhale. Feel the top of your head reaching towards the sky. Exhale. Feel the bottoms of your heels rooting down into the ground. Again, deep inhale, grow a little taller. Exhale, send that energy deep into the soil beneath you. Again, this time reaching up with your hands, we inhale. Feel the support of gravity lifting and lengthening. Exhale, release your arms, growing deep. One more time, inhale, reaching the arms up, feeling the anatomical support from your body. Exhale, lower the arms, rooting down. Maintain this breath, this energy flowing up and down and all around you as we begin our walk today. Again, my name is Veronica. I am an environmental education student as well as a dance student, and I love to combine these ideas of environmental ed and dance by thinking about wellness of the environment and of our bodies. So today, through observation of Schmeeckle's natural ecosystems, we will connect to our body, mind, and spirit by using our senses to help heal ourselves. And our walk today will be a little bit less than a mile. We will be doing some sitting and some walking and some other movements. And feel free to tell me at any point along the way if you need modification or anything like that. Yes, as we start our walk to our first location, I invite you to think about some things that you already do in your everyday life to help maintain your health and well-being. And you can follow me this way. Hello. Yes. Would anyone be willing to share some things that they do in their everyday lives to help manage your health and your well-being?
You want to go look at it?
Can you tell us a little bit more?
So it's a based on Chinese medicine, and you do tapping on your meridians while you're expressing your feelings, and it helps with stress relief and bringing your body back out of fight or flight.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else like to share?
I like to massage your face in the morning, and I also like to drink lots of water.
Wonderful. All good techniques. Yeah.
I'm very high stress now, and so very into mindfulness techniques. And I kind of do pick up and stress come down and just let it go through and try it out. Helps a lot with reducing stress.
Beautiful. Mindfulness techniques and physical techniques that we do to help regulate our bodies and our senses. Alright. Next, I will guide you through a meditation, and I invite you to find a seat if you wish. You can stay standing if that's what works for you today. For this guided meditation, I'm going to invite you to keep your eyes open and to expand your senses, really taking in the world around you. As we start with ourselves and with our breath. Take a deep inhale. Smell the world around you. Exhale. Again, feeling grounded that you are here. You showed up today. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. Release the tension you're feeling. Maintaining this breath cycle, I invite you to start looking around you, looking up the very tops of the trees, seeing the variety of trees supporting this ecosystem here at Schmeeckle. Looking around, seeing the plants blowing in the wind, looking to the ground where you're sitting or standing, the ground cover we have. Also an important part for the functionality of the ecosystem. I invite you to hear the sounds around you. Listening to the immediate sounds that are near you. Maybe it's the leaves rustling in the wind. And the sounds that are further away. Maybe they're natural sounds. Or maybe they're sounds of the cars going by. Again, breathing deep through the nose, I invite you to smell the air. Smell the living environment and the decomposing environment around us. This time of year we have a mixture of aliveness and of death and renewal. The leaf litter on the ground decomposing, supporting new life. Finally, I invite you to feel something, connecting with the ground beneath your feet. Feeling the different textures that your body feels, the sensations of the wind, the trees, the ground. Take one more deep inhale. Exhale. Find presence here in this moment. Alright. I'm going to bring you all out of this meditative state. And I would like to talk about focusing on our senses today. As you noticed through the meditation, I cued in a few different senses that we can focus on as we are thinking about healing and well-being. We often in our everyday lives only think about the senses that we need to get tasks done. We create these habitual patterns within our bodies. We only see that what's right in front of us, or hear what we need to hear. But by focusing on our senses, actively working on expanding further out, further within, we can break those habitual patterns and strengthen those sensory muscles. This idea of expanding our senses comes from an idea called forest bathing. Another name is called Shinrin Yoku. This comes from Shinto and Buddhism traditions, which originated in Japan around the 1980s. And this idea of expanding your senses to take in the natural world around you was shown to create positive impacts on mental and physical well-being. The idea that your cognitive health and your mental health is improved and anxiety is lessened. Studies even show that some people were able to reduce heart rate and blood pressure by taking in the world around them through their senses. So as we continue walking, I encourage you to think about how you're using your senses and to think about how you can experience the natural world in a new way through your senses. We will keep walking to our next location, paying attention to our senses. If anyone is willing to share, what are some ways you experienced this trail through your senses?
Crunching and granular and being different.
Have you noticed that before?
Oh, yes, but not for me.
More attuned to those
Yes, correct.
senses, those feelings beneath our feet. Beautiful. Different sounds, different sensations, walking on different materials. Okay.
The smell of leaf litter is a lot stronger this time of year.
Yes, it is.
I feel like I'm breaking up something important.
Nope, y'all are good.
Sorry.
No apologies necessary.
Yeah. And noticing how that visibility changes as we walked into a denser forested area. Maybe the smell of the decomposing leaves is stronger over here than over by the trailhead. I was trying to look up more because I often find myself looking down as we walk in fear of falling or tripping over something. But by looking up and seeing the sky and seeing the tops of the trees and how they move a lot in the wind, but down here all of the tree trunks, they look pretty still and stationary. So I found that to be pretty fascinating. Well, to talk about our physical connection to the world around us and how understanding these experiences and these connections through our physical relation to the world is important to understanding how we connect. So I would like everyone to take a minute and look at their hands, maybe feel the skin, your hands, your forearms, thinking about the physical sensations that you feel on your body. Thinking about how our skin, our bodies are made up of cells, and those cells are made up of elements. These same elements that we're made up of, such as hydrogen, carbon, and oxygen, originate from a long, long time ago. And when the first generation of stars existed, they were composed mainly of elements such as hydrogen and helium. And as these stars got older, growing bigger into what's called a red giant, the star is super massive, and in the inside, the middle part of the star begins to get hotter and hotter and very dense until it becomes so hot that those helium atoms are able to fuse into the carbon and the oxygen. And then the star starts cooling down, and this big, massive star eventually cools down enough where the center, where all of those elements are, poof, just go out into the universe. And all of those elements dusting the sky, scattered around the universe, the hydrogen, oxygen, and carbon are what make up all of us. The universe, the world, our bodies, how we are all connected through this star stuff, these physical elements that make us up. So, how we interact with the natural world and understand our relationship to the universe may come down to a very simple physical level. We physically are all connected. Another way that I want to think about these relational connections today is through an experience called animal and plant forms. And the idea of taking form of an animal or a plant is to learn more about them and to create an empathetic connection to them. We often take walks on trails, go visit a park, or step outside to read a book or bathe in the sun. But we often don't understand the world around us until we take the time to experience what the trees are experiencing, what the squirrels are doing as they stop and look around and hunting for nuts. We can't fully understand because our senses are different than those animals and those plants. But through taking form, I invite all of us today, we are going to play with movement for a few minutes, about 3 minutes. You can explore slightly off the trail, being careful of where we're stepping. But I invite you to go feel a tree, to lengthen your arms, maybe crunch down to the ground, get on the level of the squirrels, of the leaves. Extend higher, thinking about the tops, the crowns of the trees. To take a few moments to use your physical body to explore the animal and plants around us. I invite you to take your 3 minutes now.
Are you waking up in the
We'll get out of your
Y'all are good. Enjoy the beautiful weather.
when you have finished your exploration, come back over here. Go ahead. Beautiful. Thank you guys for participating in the exploration with me. As we walk just a little bit further to our next location, think about, in what ways do you most connect with the natural world around you? Follow me this way. We're gonna step off of the trail and just be aware of where we're walking. There's a lot of leaf litter on the ground right now, but paying extra attention to where we're stepping so we don't trip over logs or crush a mushroom or something like that. Our attention to this ecosystem over here. What are some things that we notice about this fallen tree or anything else going on in this area of Schmeeckle? What can we observe? Decay.
But also life.
And also life. How so?
The moss and the grass growing out of it.
Looks like the tree either grew through rock or concrete.
Yeah.
Persevered.
Yeah. The death and decay of this tree providing new life and new growth to other resources, to other systems and functionality. This tree, when it was alive, provided energy, nutrients, and resources to all the other trees and plants around this area through an underground fungal connection system called the mycorrhizal network. And this mycorrhizal network are these little tiny, sort of like roots. If you take a closer look at our system over here, we can notice all of the things dead and alive, growing and decaying, and we see many small root-like structures poking out of the soil here. Even though this tree was growing over huge rock, it's still able to provide enough energy to support itself and to support the living things around it through this mycorrhizal network. And some of the ways that we think about this energy transfer in an ecosystem like Schmeeckle is take a look up one more time at all of our big overstory trees. In this area of Schmeeckle, we see mostly maples and oak. But along the lower level, bringing our eyes down, we see many smaller plants and some trees trying to grow. Many of our white pine or our cherry trees are shaded. Over there, we have a smaller white pine sapling that is able to grow and get enough energy to reach the sun because of this fungal network beneath our feet. Those energy transfers from the bigger trees in the ecosystem support the smaller species among this ecosystem. Not all of them will survive, and through death and decay, it is a cycle, but this energy transfer is what supports all of the diversity and the life around us. So as we think about this transfer of energy and support in ecosystems such as Schmeeckle. How do you have support in your everyday lives? What systems support you when you're in need? Do you guys have any examples of how you are refueled with energy or support from people or systems in your life?
Like friends and family, just talking about things.
Yeah, talk from friends and family. Yeah, our immediate communities, such as our friends and family, support us, and our wider communities as well. Just like this tree supporting the ecosystem and providing its resources, there's also resources that are given back to it. So in our lives, we have talents, and you said you have a stressful job sometimes, but even those skills that we do that may seem stressful, they are really important skills, and they're probably helping other people and supporting a greater community that all works together. We're all part of a bigger whole working together, and hopefully we can think about those support systems when we have times where our energy is low and need to be refueled.
This morning, it was interesting to Steve's point at that definitely feel my spirit to see all the people coming together and forming a community out of lots of different kinds of people and parts, and that felt good.
I went down there as well and felt the same thing.
Yeah. Did you feel a sense of community?
Oh,
when you were down
very
there?
much, because I'm from a Marathon County where there are different attitudes, and it was nice to meet people feel more in line with my values.
Yeah. We felt a similar way that community strength and similar beliefs can be really impactful to your spirits and to your overall health, to feel that support and see it being done. All right, as we leave this space and walk back onto the trail, continue thinking about those support systems that you have in your life, and thinking about how you are essential, you are important, you're part of a community, and your resources are needed to support others as well. So I will walk this way. Just again, coming a little bit off the trail on either side, not to disturb any people passing by. Wonderful. So for our last stop today, I wanted to talk about how we can use a sit spot or intentional nature journaling to connect with the natural world and reflect on experiences that we feel and smell and hear and observe through nature. But first I wanted to ask if anybody thought of further connections or systems along that walk that you're a part of in your life or within the natural world. Did any other systems of relation come up for you on our walk? Yeah.
For me, sometimes I would just be alone and process
Yeah.
the crowds. Like the energy of the crowd sometimes gets to me. So I just like to be alone.
Decompression. Do you often, where do you like to be alone?
A lot of times I can shoot a walk.
Yeah.
I have my own space at home, the green room, the coffee room.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes we need that emotional support from our community. Sometimes we need the support from the community of the natural systems around us, that we are also integral in these systems and part of them too. Or even the comfort of our bed at home, or our favorite couch, spot to sit in, place to watch and observe nature.
Yeah, and the internal systems. I was thinking about my nervous system, nerves and veins, all the different branches and roots, and also the vestibular system, like balance. I was balancing a lot on this on that discipline, and the like swaying kind of mirror swaying of the trees for balance, how you root yourself into the ground to have a more free and upper body.
Thank you for sharing. Yeah, especially through the idea of the animal and plant forms, we can figure out new ways that we relate to the world around us on not just physical or elemental level, but from a movement level, or the patterns of nature that match our patterns, and how we are a part of these ideas too. All originating from the same whole, the same system. So, as we continue to observe nature through our senses, the idea of being still and quiet in one place is an idea that has been around for a long time. And I learned more about this idea through a trip I went on to Hawaii. And they called the idea of observation, of learning from nature, kilo. And the term kilo is not just to observe nature, but to learn from it. And that our indigenous teachers teach us that nature isn't something that we have a passive relationship with, but it's an active connection that we have. And by actively taking the time to learn from nature, to be still within ourselves, within all of the stress of everything else going on in our lives, and just taking in the natural world around us, can help us learn how the natural world works and how we work within it. It can help us learn more about ourselves. Indigenous thought teaches us that we are a part of nature, and the things that we observe are actively happening within ourselves as well. That our mind, body, and spirit are all connected with nature. So, to strengthen those observation and connection skills, we are going to find a spot to sit, and incorporating the idea of our kilo sit spot today, we are also going to incorporate nature journaling, if you would like. If you've heard of nature journaling before, it's just this idea of reflection, of getting those thoughts, those ideas, feelings down on paper. If you want to draw, if you want to write, whatever you would like to do. If you don't feel like that idea is good for you today, then you can just sit and observe and take in the world around you. So, I invite us to all take a clipboard and a pencil, and then you can find a spot to sit, or if you want to stay standing, that's fine too. And we will experience and observe nature for about 5 minutes, and then we'll come back together. feel free to find any spots around here. When you all are ready, slowly make your way back over here by me. If you would like to keep your paper, you can hang on to that, and I can take the clipboard and yep. Hold on to your clipboard and pencil till the end. If you'd like, I can take your clipboard and pencil and you can keep your paper. Thank you. Was there anything new that anyone observed or experienced during that time?
I went a haiku about Lynch long ago where I was sitting on.
Oh, beautiful. Would you like to share? Or
Well, I hope it's okay. Highways in the bark, full systems not known to man, but for other life.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
I felt compelled to write a letter to myself.
And where did you feel that compelling energy?
Just being out here in nature, sitting out in the black and white. I mean, I sit outside of home, but it's the same openness to it and what nature can do for us and here. So it's just calling me to I'm the one that can change me, warm me up to nature.
That's awesome. I love how our experiences are all different, and what is impactful to one person will be completely different to another. A new observation that I made through this practice was I noticed a lot of trees in 2 or 3, and pairing of trees and of plants is very much related to our lives and to animals, and how we love to have a companion or an idea of growing together, again with those support systems. And yeah, that was a new observation for me. So this idea of finding a sit spot or a place to observe and learn from the world around us is often practiced continually. So I challenge you to find a spot, whether it's the spot that you were in today here at Schmeeckle, or it's a new spot, maybe it's in your backyard or somewhere else that you resonate with, to go back to that spot and to continue this practice of observation and learning and expansion of the senses. And by continuing that practice and returning to that spot, you actually become a part of the ecosystem around you. Nature learns and adapts with you. And that's pretty cool. So we are going to walk back to the trailhead now to finish our experience here today. And I invite you for this last portion of our walk to let go of everything, to experience the idea of wandering. Watch out for these bicycles. The idea that nature will lead us where we need to go, to just let our bodies, our minds, our spirits be free and to wander. So that would be lovely. Thank you. Today, through the observation of the natural systems at Schmeeckle, we connected with our body, our minds, our spirits, using our senses to help heal and relieve some stress and anxiety today. We practiced some things like meditation and animal and plant forms, sit spot and nature journaling, and connecting with natural systems. As you go into your everyday life, maybe you can incorporate some of these practices or find other practices, ways that you can connect with yourself and with nature. And remember to take that time to express gratitude for showing up, thanking yourself, thanking the world around you, knowing that you are doing the work and you deserve to heal in your body, mind, and your spirit. Now, if we take a step away from the fence and the rocks, we're going to finish how we started. Reaching our arms up to the sky and taking a deep inhale, feeling the support from the atmosphere around us. Exhale, lower the arms, rooting your energy down into the surface of the floor and inhale, reach up. Exhale, release. Good. Thank you guys for joining me today. If you have any questions, again, my name is Veronica, and yeah, I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their week.